afternoon, fine people of the internet. Welcome back to Maverick Baking. If you are new here, my name is Kelly, and on this channel we talk about all things edible. The legal kind. Today I am bringing you a look into another independent craft chocolate maker. Now before you roll your eyes and think, yes Kelly, we know that you're done with Cadbury. That's not what today's video is about. Today's video, especially as the UK and other parts of the world are heading into further lockdown restrictions and, further hardships for small businesses, and at the same time we enter into the kind of Christmas market period. I think it's really, really important when we can to try and highlight, hype up, talk about, and obviously support the super small businesses. So on that note, who are we talking about today? We're talking about a company I have just been checking out online, and thanks to a lovely Instagram follower who recommended these to me, we are checking out the Wickedly Welsh chocolate company, and I'm already very excited. As you can most likely tell from the company's name, the brand are based in Wales here in the UK. Now this is something that is a bit new to me. Welsh chocolate is certainly not something that is normally on my radar, despite the fact they're actually not even geographically that far away from us Scots up here, and we have a bit of an affinity for doing things to sheep, but we'll leave that to the imagination. The three flavours we are going to be talking about today are peanut butter in milk chocolate, Welsh sea salt and caramel in milk chocolate, and a coffee and biscuit dark chocolate. I wanted to get a nice kind of big range of these bars to really taste what these guys are up to and let you know the full kind of flavours you can get from them. So I think I'm going to start with the Welsh sea salt and caramel bar. Okay, so something that is immediately interesting is when we take this out of the kind of card and plastic packaging, the bar is fully naked. Now this is something you really don't see often, but if you are someone who obviously cares for the environment, this is something that is, I imagine, a big plus. Minimal packaging, and the chocolate has stayed wonderfully intact. So while on the back, I hope the camera will pick this up for you guys, you do see some big kind of flecks of that lovely sea salt. And the front has this gorgeous kind of standard rectangular shaped bits, but with a nice little kind of thing on it, which we like. Let's see what that snap on this bar is like. Oh, a good snap on a milk chocolate bar makes my heart endlessly happy. Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. When I saw that this was going to be a caramel bar, I thought that the caramel flavouring would just be kind of through the chocolate, but as you can hopefully see, right there we actually have a soft caramel filling. It smells sweet, it smells a little bit toffee-ish. Let's see how it tastes. That, if you don't mind me saying, is a bloody good milk chocolate bar. The closest kind of widespread example of chocolate that this reminds me of is the Hotel Chocolat 40% milk chocolate. In saying that, I mean that you get all of the glorious, smooth, rich creaminess that you want from a milk chocolate bar, but there's also that distinctive actual chocolate taste behind it, which is what is always so nice about independent chocolate makers. They really care about the actual chocolate part of their chocolate bar. As for the caramel, it is quite subtle. It's nothing super sweet. You can tell it's a fairly kind of natural caramel because it doesn't overpower you with that artificial sticky toffee kind of smell. If you are someone who likes extremely salty caramel or salted chocolate, this is definitely more on the subtle side, but you absolutely pick it up when you're eating it. Definitely not too heavy on the sugar, and even though there is some vanilla flavouring in there as well, this is a chocolatey milk chocolate. And it's a very good chocolatey milk chocolate, which I will quite happily give a 5 out of 5. Absolutely. Let us move on to the second bar, which might be the one that I'm most excited about. Simply because here in the UK, it's still something that we haven't quite made super mainstream in the same way that the United States have. We're talking about peanut butter milk chocolate. Same as the last one, this is going to be the same kind of 34% milk chocolate, but we're going to have a roasted peanut butter filling. Now thankfully it's the kind of peanut butter that doesn't contain loads of trash like palm oil and other things. It looks like it's going to be the good stuff. So we get in again to this lovely naked chocolate bar, and as you guys know, I am an absolute fangirl when it comes to companies who make good effort in making their chocolate and their chocolate packaging really appealing to the eye. Because we can all say, oh, buy things based on taste or on price. You don't. You and I and everyone else are a child in here. And when you see bright, shiny things or delicious looking things, we all go, ooh. So the appearance on a chocolate bar is so, so important. And these guys, you can see on this side, we have that utterly unmistakable swirl of that peanut butter. And they've even used a completely different mold from the last bar, which is something you don't actually see very often. It's that extra bit of work, that extra bit of kind of TLC. We love it. Speaking of loving it, that is an absolutely Reese's peanut butter level of peanut butter smell. Oh. Still a good snap. Despite this being loaded with peanut butter, we still have a good snap on there. You can see that we're going to have a little kind of range of textures. You can see that peanut butter is almost a bit more kind of granular but fluffy compared to that smooth chocolate. Let's get a good taste of it and see how it is. Again, that milk chocolate, wonderfully smooth, melts really well. That peanut butter, salty, creamy, thick without being kind of the sort of peanut butter that glues your mouth together. It just blends in really well texturally with that chocolate. The only thing I might say is if we could have had some kind of crunchy bits of peanut butter or some crunchy bits of salt in there, it might have elevated it even more, but that is a damn good peanut butter chocolate. Something that I would compliment even more is the fact that that peanut butter has not been over-sweetened. Typically in Reese's product or in any other kind of mainstream chocolate peanut butter products, the peanut butter is so kind of sickly sweet. It's almost like a fudge, whereas this has that perfect kind of savory umami balance to go with that chocolate. It's an absolute winner. I could happily smash this entire bar within the next 15 seconds if you lovely people weren't watching. Again, that is another very happy 5 out of 5 for me. Our final chocolate bar is going to be this coffee and biscuit chocolate bar from Wickedly Welsh. Now this one is even more adorable. I don't know if this is kind of an updated logo, but it even has the iconic Welsh dragon on it, which is, it's just cool, really. So this is going to be coffee and biscuit in a devilishly dark chocolate. I feel like we probably could have fit a dragon pun in there somewhere. So this is going to be a 54% dark chocolate blended with that 34% milk chocolate. So it's not a super high percentage for dark chocolate, but as we have spoken about in past, that is by no means a sign of poor quality. Typically, if anything is 50 or above, you're already having that cocoa shine through nicely. So we're going to expect some biscuit pieces in here, as well as some actual ground coffee and bits of coffee bean. So I am super excited about this one. Coffee is something that, even though you see it just all over the place in the UK, you know, we are an avid coffee drinking nation, it's still a flavour that is actually quite underutilized when it comes to sweets and to chocolates, especially ice cream. I have a real thing for coffee ice cream. So the underside, you will see, is almost like our peanut butter bar in that it has that lovely colour contrasting swirl with some little, looking like little crunchy bits of coffee and biscuit in there. And we also have the original mold we saw first in today's video. It's a lovely dark colour, and I'm really hoping we're going to get a lovely snap to go with it. Of course we are. Of course we are. So the inside here, you might be able to see, if my camera will behave, that we have, again, that kind of colour contrast in the fillings there between the milk chocolate that has all those lovely little bits in it. Let's see if it's worth your money. While I must be honest and say this is probably my least favourite of the three, if you love coffee, this one is good. The niggling thing I kind of have with this bar is that when I like to have coffee flavour, I like it to be strong. You know, in the Om Nom chocolate we had that contained coffee, for example, that tasted like you were drinking a cappuccino. It was unmistakably coffee flavoured. This one, on the other hand, while you do get that coffee flavour, it's the coffee flavour you would get from a caramel latte or a caramel macchiato from Starbucks, for example. There's definitely perhaps a little bit too much sweetness to go with the coffee, but as a dark chocolate, and promising on that kind of hint of coffee, a bit of caramel flavour and some biscuit. Texture and flavours, all very good. Creamy, melty, crunchy. What this bar would be fantastic for is if you were trying to get into the taste of more kind of sophisticated, less sweet, darker chocolate than your typical milk chocolate bars. This is the kind of bar you want to start with. It has that gorgeous lingering cocoa flavour. It has that beautiful tiny bit of bitterness that blends in with the lovely melting chocolate. There is definitely sweetness, and it is sweeter and more highly flavoured than most dark chocolates. But if dark chocolate is something you want to get into, bars like this are a perfect gateway for it. While, as I said, it isn't my absolute ideal example of a coffee and biscuit bar, if this were a kind of caramel latte and biscuit bar, I think it would be really, really nailing the description. But ultimately, the care that's been taken with the texture, the image, and the flavourings, it's a solid 4 out of 5 for me. I am, unsurprisingly, very happy. As always, I will leave a link to the Wickedly Welsh Chocolate Company in the description box below, where you can find their website and purchase some of these lovely chocolates. In the meantime, if you guys enjoyed today's video, I am very, very happy to hear it. I'm so thankful for you guys being here. I hope you are staying happy and staying as healthy as you can in the current state of the planet. I know things are going up and down every day, but I really hope you're doing the best you can. I'm so grateful for you being here, and I will see you for the next one.